This is the House of Parliament where men and women have sat for decades, making decisions that would affect all our lives. Do they really work in the interests of the people or themselves? They sit at the round tables, trying to decipher which way to turn. Is it left or is it right? Have the people benefited from those decisions? Our people have suffered for far too long. Change should not be a figment of the imagination, but reality. Every boy, every girl, every man, every woman are equally important. The market vendor joyfully sells her produce. The fish vendor skillfully uses his cutlass to cut the fish. Keep on working. Let your smile be your motivation. Build a community of brotherly and sisterly love. Don't give up on your dreams. Surround yourself with positive thinkers. Think big and keep on moving. Keep pushing the envelope. Yes, push that envelope until you have succeeded. You may have made many mistakes, but that is no reason to stop. Don't you dare give up. Get ready for that overflow. Get ready for that breakthrough. The overflow is coming. Showers of blessings. Stay cool. Stay calm. Stay collective. Ride the rough waves of life. Hold on to that rope tightly. Just keep working. Keep moving. Keep believing. Self-motivation. I'm here. You are here. Welcome to Lies and Deceit. It may be morning wherever you are located, or afternoon or nighttime. So allow me to wish you happy afternoon, happy evening, happy morning, whatever it is. Welcome to my show, Lies and Deceit, where we discuss a diverse number of subjects on different things that affects not only my country, but it can be applied to your country wherever you are located. And welcome to all of you. And it's nice to have you here with me tonight. And tonight we are going to be talking about a very serious topic. And this topic affects all our lives. It doesn't matter where we are located. And life can be very strange. Life can be very exciting. Life can be very sad. And in my country, St. Lucia, over the past weekend, we had 2 homicides. So this is why I am saying life can be very, very, very strange. Today you're here, tomorrow you're gone. But we need to ask ourselves this question. Why are we here today and gone tomorrow? Is that something that could have been prevented? Maybe yes, maybe no. However, when you live in a society, expect anything. It doesn't matter if you live in St. Lucia, if you live in France, if you live in New York, if you live in England, if you live in Nigeria, India, Pakistan, wherever you are, life happens. So we are going to look. My topic this evening is really going to blow your mind. We are going to show you how poverty does not influence crime. You might be saying, oh my God, what is the whole Soraya Alexander saying? But I am going to show you, and what I'm saying to you can be applied to any society, any nation. Poverty does not increase crime. Do you know what increases crime? Inequality. Right? Not including people in the mix. And we are going to see it's a fact of life. And until we start to speak about these things, crime is going to increase. And we're trying to say, because somebody's poor, you're poor, or you're poor, this is why, this is why. But the powers that be need to put programs in place for inclusion. If you do not include the people at the lower belt of the income scale, what do you think is going to happen? If you don't include them to be able to access medical care, education, right? What do you think is going to happen? Inclusion is key. Now, excuse me, as I said before, we had 2 homicides in St. Lucia within hours. And these murders happen in the constituency of Dr. Ernest Hilaire. He's the Member of Parliament for Castries South. So this happened in Castries South, and then I was very intrigued. Usually I follow a lot of stuff so I can be able to research and look at what's happening in my country and, also look at what is happening in the wider world. So he did an interview with some of our reporters locally in St. Lucia. So I decided, let me go have a look. And I was very amazed and intrigued by what he said, because my show tonight will show you, and I'm hoping the show open up the minds of people. However, remember, we support this show by purchasing coffee. We are going to show you the coffee video so you can support the show Lies and Deceit. If you are one who is interested in truth, you will support my show willingly. The link is also at the bottom or at the top of the Facebook page. It is also on YouTube, right? And we'll be streaming also on other platforms where you can also buy a coffee. So we're sending our message throughout the world, not only in St. Lucia. So feel free to support us with the coffees and keep us going. Take a look.
Hello everyone. Today we'll be learning how to show your support for Soraya Alexander through memberships and coffees. Okay, so first up guys, you need to keep this link in mind, buymeacoffee.com/Soraya Alexander. So let's go on and head on to the site. So of course you are greeted with Miss Alexander Buy Me a Coffee page. You'll scroll down to the bottom where you'll see support or membership. So of course the support option is to purchase your coffee. So we don't want to purchase 1, 3 or 5, we want to purchase a custom amount. So we'll put it right here and select 10. So of course for you guys who like to be anonymous, the name and say something nice option is optional to you. So if you would like to do that, you can, or do as you please. But in this case, I'm going to be entering a name. And I'm going to be saying something nice. I'm going to say, love your show. Keep it coming. All right. And also we know some of you have messages that you don't intend for everyone to see. So you can simply select the option, make this message private. So we're going to go ahead and press the support button. On the support page, you are greeted with the email and card number. So of course you go ahead, we're going to put johndoe@hotmail.com, and in this case we're going to be using a dummy card number, but in your case you will enter your real valid card number. So of course you put your month, your year and the CVC of your card, and of course you will select the I'm not a robot option for verification. So this is simply how you go ahead and purchase your coffee. Simple. So now guys, we're going to go ahead and get a membership. So as you could see, we have different levels of membership, so you can choose what you like, whichever one you prefer. You go ahead and select that. So you just press the join button and then you're greeted whether you want to take that membership per month or per year. So we're gonna go ahead and start filling in our details. We're gonna put our email, johndoe@hotmail.com, and in this case your name is required, so, and your email. So we're gonna go ahead and put a name. We're gonna put John Doe, and we are gonna see something nice. We're gonna see love your show. Now, like before, as we saw, guys, you have the option to make this message private. So you could just go right here, tick, and that message is private. So of course you press the join, and then you go ahead and you enter your card, and so on and so on. And of course you verify that you are not a robot. Now on this page you also have the option, because I know some of you guys may want to take more than the allotted membership, so you can simply use the free option, predefined options for you, and add it 5, 10, 15, whatever as you wish. Okay, so guys, this is actually the full tutorial. This is how you go ahead and purchase your coffee. This is how you go ahead and purchase your membership. So I want to say thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Hope this video was as informative as it could be. This was Akeem Ernest. See ya.
And we are back. So the video showed you how to become a member of my Buy Me a Coffee. It also showed you how to buy coffees. This is how we sponsor our show. So, you know, be part of our movement in educating and bringing the issues that really matter to us as a global village, to us as a people. It doesn't matter where you live. So we're also on GVD TV Flow 115. This is our local station in St. Lucia. We are also there, and we're streaming on a number of platforms if you follow me there. So basically, I think we're streaming on 4 platforms tonight. LinkedIn is one of them. So be part of the movement, because we're doing things, we're upping the game to ensure that people really get substance out of our show. So as we were discussing previously about the homicides that happen in my lovely country, my lovely island of St. Lucia, the Helen of the West Indies, as we were discussing this, my people, I will show you a video, and I want you to listen, because I listened to the video, because sometimes our leaders need to be reminded. Our leaders need people to get them on board. I know many of them. I know our local government, the government of St. Lucia, I know they listen to my show. Because a lot of things I'm seeing they are saying, it's as a result of the pressure I put on my show towards them, which is good that they are listening. And as I said, anybody who listens to my show and take a grain of salt out of it, they will be good. Now, let me play you a video and you would understand where I'm coming from. Take a listen.
MP for South Castries, Dr. Ernest Gile, lamenting the 2 fatal shootings in 4 Ashore Castries over the weekend, says that the government is doing what it can to curb the spate of gun violence on the island. However, he maintains that the problem requires a multi-pronged approach and will take the efforts of the wider society.
It's really painful when you hear of the gun violence, and certainly my constituency and individuals that I know. It is really, really difficult. We have a serious problem that has been, developing over the last few years, and is really taking its toll on us now. We tabled in the last sitting of Parliament legislation for stiffer measures against firearms, and certainly during that debate, I will share my thoughts on what I think is happening and should be done. I don't believe the solution is entirely having strong, stiffer legislation. And it has been said so many times before, we need to have a national effort and a broader approach to fighting crime in the society. In the past, you've heard people say that there is crime because there are no jobs, there are no opportunities. It's a lot deeper than that. That's part of it. The availability of firearms is certainly one. The whole environment where we don't seem to be oriented towards conflict resolution and dealing with differences differently. There are just so many persons with guns. Whenever there's a conflict, the first resort is to a firearm.
The Castries South MP also reveals that discussions are also being held regarding strengthening the island's borders in hopes of mitigating the influx of illegal firearms in the country.
There are discussions taking place with partners of St. Lucia, our international friends, to see how we can muster the resources. It takes a lot of resources. The use of aircrafts, which we don't own, the use of high-powered vessels, which we're very limited in, radar facilities, and now the use of drones for one to really, patrol our borders. And it is costing a lot of money. And you really have to sit down and reflect whether you want to spend $5-6 million, on capacity building to restrict, or do you spend it on, intervention programs at the community level to try and reduce the tension between people and avoid some of the conflicts that we have. So it is difficult times, but we are resolute in focusing on it and trying to get a grip of it. But I must extend to all the persons who are aggrieved by what happened on the weekend, the innocent bystanders, the families, that we need to find different ways of resolving our differences.
Commissioner of Police Milton Daisy, in response to public sentiments that the Royal St. Lucia Police Force may be too lenient on criminals, says the police act within the parameters of the law and need assistance where possible to act with the necessary urgency.
The police will do whatever they can within the means that they have. We have to act within the law, what we have to do. We have to take into consideration the person's rights and so on. Sometimes we may hear that it is ex-individual, but you must get the evidence. And most times, that the evidence comes from eyewitnesses or forensics. So sometimes, as much as now we do not have someone arrested for a matter, but we will gather the evidence, send it for testing, and when we get if we have a positive result, then the person is brought in. There's so much that we can do. I believe crime is something for everybody, and the persons who are committing crime, they did not just decide to commit crime yesterday. They were brought up into crime, and then they continue committing crime. So this is a social issues that I think we have to address it from all angles. Most of these individuals are unemployed, and I don't think there's a way that the police can employ those persons. So they must find employment. They must have diversion activities where they would be involved with. They are idle and then they commit crime.
Daisy reveals that the chronic lack of funding for the Royal St. Lucia Police Force has exacerbated its problems with fighting crime, particularly with the proper rollout of a witness protection program. For the DBS News World, Jason Darius reporting.
I am just so flabbergasted that government in, government out, nothing happens. People, we are behaving in St. Lucia like we are just becoming aware of those critical issues that erode the fabric of our society. If our leaders are now coming to have a discussion, you heard Ernest Hille and you heard Milton Daisy, the Commissioner of Police. People, what I don't understand, it is like an aha moment. This has just happened. Let us do this. Let us do that. I have been on this earth for 52 years. So it just did not happen. It has always been there. But our leaders refuse to implement policies or programs that would help society. And I did an analysis of what Dr. Ernest Hille said with regards to what happened in his constituency, Castries South. And I'm like, okay, so I am going to read to you exactly what I got from what he said. But my people, we need to arise. We need to hold politicians accountable irrespective of where they stand. Because this cannot be right that for years we have been plagued with crime. However, they are saying, it's poverty causing crime. No, it is not poverty that is causing crime. And I research and I will show you What causes this? But let us turn to Dr. Ernest Hiller's deliberations on crime, which I was like, seriously? Dr. Hiller is saying it is painful to hear about gun violence. Dr. Ernest Hiller is saying it is painful to hear about gun violence. Dr. Ernest Hiller must have been asleep. Where has he been? Because Dr. Ernest Hiller, when you were in opposition, you had all the answers. So right now, you should not be surprised or painful to hear about gun violence. It was there for decades. Then he said the latest homicides happened in his constituency of Castries South. And we know Castries South of the trouble spots, the hot spots. Dr. Hiller has been the rep for this area. Well, now he is on his second term, so he'll be doing like 10 years. So to be fair, he has been their rep for 6 years. But during those 6 years, Dr. Ernest Hiller, what have you done? Because it's when people are dying in your constituency, you want to talk? No. The work of crime has to be done irrespective of who is in government. Crime is not an issue to be played with. Then Dr. Hiller went on to say, knows the 2 men that were killed over the weekend. Now, Dr. Hiller, if you knew those 2 men who were killed over the weekend, Dr. Hiller, you should have, how will I say it? You should have information as to what is happening within your constituency. Dr. Hiller, as it now happened, you are coming up with all those pointers. Our politicians are the greatest deceivers. While in opposition, they had all the answers. But while in opposition, there were still issues with your constituency concerning crime, sir. And he went on to say serious problems developed over the past few years. But Dr. Ernest Hiller, you were their rep for the past few years. What do you have to show Slate to say to us, this is what I have been doing? Now, this is where I am different from other people speaking on these issues. I would have preferred that Dr. Hiller came to me or came to the public and say, this happened within my constituency. However, for the past 5 years, these are the programs I have implemented. These are the opportunities that I have given to the less fortunate, to the fellas on the block who don't have jobs. But to come to me now like, okay, Sarah, oh, it just happened. Oh, aha moment. Oh, this and that. No, we cannot accept this. We need to hold these politicians accountable, irrespective of the side they're on. This can't be right. So he went on to say, Parliament recently passed stiffer legislation. Passing stiffer legislation without the proper implementation means what? Implementation is key. Then he went on to say that he does not believe the solution to crime is having stiffer legislation. Now, we know of the hotspots within his constituency. Where is your stamp to show us what you have done for your constituency over the past 5-6 years? Then he is saying, national effort and broader approach to fighting crime. While in opposition, you had all the answer, Ernest Hiller. So you moving into government, what you should have done is just implementation. Because if you have a manifesto stating what you're going to do concerning crime, what you had to do is have a team and implement. So you're sounding like it just happened over the past few years, and now I'm in office, I'm trying to see what can be done, right? And this doesn't make sense, does it? Now he is saying crime is a lot deeper than not having a job or the lack of opportunities. Dr. Ernest Hilaire, you were with Castries South for the past 6 years. What have you implemented in order to curb the crime level? And I believe every member of parliament should take absolute and full responsibility for their various constituency, because your constituency is a reflection of you, whether you're doing well as an MP or not. Conflict resolution is lacking. Dr. Ernest Hilaire has all the nice words, all the nice glaring words to come there and make us feel all warm and fuzzy inside. But Dr. Hilaire, you have been there for the past 6 years. What have you implemented? And this is where you have to come to say, this is what I have implemented. This is what I did. These are the results. But sir, you're just giving me pointers out of your head, but I need something. I need you to show me something, show the public something to say, yes, I have done something. This is how politicians operate. Then he is saying, should we go the route of building capacity to mitigate risk, or the intervention, supposed to be the intervention route? Really? Really? Intervention route? Really? So I am here to open your minds, and I'm sure many people watching the live from all over the world, y'all are familiar with what I'm saying, and I'm pretty sure this happens in your country. The politicians, the policy makers, the lawmakers, they usually come with all the nice words when trouble arises. However, what have they implemented to make it any better? So this is why I listened to him properly, and then I said, let me take out what he is saying. It actually says nothing. It actually says nothing. You're supposed to have a plan, and you come to tell the people what have you done. Granted, you've been in office for 11 months. However, you were an MP. And that doesn't only go for you. It goes for all the 17 MPs. What have you done within your constituency to mitigate crime? What programs have you implemented? What feedback have you gotten? So now, my people, we are going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we will discuss what the Commissioner of Police also said.
Ernesto's Auto Parts, located on the Labrie-Viford Highway, is your place for auto parts. We have suspension parts, mounts, brakes, shocks, and so much more.
We specialize in accessories like mats, batteries, horns, lubricants, and much more. We're open from Mondays to Saturdays from 8 to 5 and Sundays on most holidays from 8 to 1.
Lò pwi, Ernesto kay de pou you.
Do you need to copy or print your document? Are you in need of insurance? Are you looking for office stationery? Stop. Yes, LMP Services on Clark Lane, Viewfort has all the services you need. They open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Or call 454-8757 or 721-8757 for affordable rates, reliable and effective customer service with a difference.
And we are back. Now, my people, let us go to the Commissioner of Police of St. Lucia, Milton Daisy. I have a serious issue with this guy. This guy is saying, this is why I keep saying we need leaders. We need people who would be consistent and speak forcefully, irrespective of which political party that is in power. Because if you listen to him, he continuously says that there is a chronic lack of funding for the police force. So if there is a chronic lack of funding, it means government upon government neglected the police force. Because where is the funding? Why are we in that position today? Now, I understand what he's saying. He is saying that people are saying they need to be more vigilant and harder in terms of criminal. Now, I understand the law where you have to do things correctly because you do not want to do things incorrectly and the case is thrown out. But I am wondering whether you all have ever done anything correctly, because what is really being done? So many murders. I believe that we need to get some outside intervention in order for the police department to get from point A to B. Sometimes people, our judgment is clouded because of I'm in this position, this person is my friend, this person is my father, this person is my in-law, this person is whatever. And we fail to act responsible and professional and do what we have to do. So irrespective of which political party is there, I should have been hearing that ringing in my head. The government is not funding the police force. He's saying it's a chronic problem. So it has been there all the time. So the police commissioner, is the police commissioner just cashing a big salary every month and not coming and voice things? I haven't seen this gentleman doing press conferences. Murders are happening 1, 2, 3. And by the way, where is the Prime Minister of St. Lucia? I know he's not here, but the world is a global village. Technology you can use wherever. The Prime Minister could have gone to a room wherever he is. They provide them with all sorts of technology, and you get somebody there to record a speech for your people. 2 murders. We heard nothing from the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Philip J. Pierre. An impending storm was passing. We heard nothing from the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Philip J. Pierre. However, he was always speaking when he was in opposition. And this is what the people of St. Lucia need to understand. Your loyalty must always be with your country, because if the other political party was in power and they are doing exactly what this new Prime Minister is doing, I would take them to task. Because at the end of the day, the disservice is not to the politicians when we keep quiet. The disservice is to us as a people. So it is very unfair to the people who elected this government. They have now gone mute. And Ernest Hilaire, right now, he's gotten his aha moment and has all these pointers. It doesn't work like that. Now, my people, imagine, I just don't understand. They brought in a U.S. expert. They brought in a U.S. expert in 2019. That's when the former administration was there, the United Workers' Party administration. They brought in a U.S. expert to explain the correlation between poverty and crime. But as I have said to you, and I'm going to show you, poverty ain't got nothing to do with crime. It's excluding people out of the equation. Inequality. This is why people feel the need to go commit crimes. But then our leaders like Dr. Ernest Hilaire is coming there with his aha moments and with his pointers. We ain't taking this. Take a look at this video.
Earlier this year, Dr. Edwin Powell facilitated a week-long training exercise in human rights and social justice for local law enforcement agencies. The success of that exercise prompted the PWA to invite the Howard University lecturer to return to St. Lucia, this time for the express purpose of helping local agencies understand the link between poverty and crime in an attempt to help them devise strategies to address local crime.
Identifying poverty and looking at some of the elements of poverty, such as adverse childhood experiences, looking at some of the precursors of poverty and so forth and so on, and finding ways to engage the police department and how they can better engage the public.
Investing in the youth, anti-poverty legislation, and empowering individuals to move away from criminal activities and take on legitimate employment are just small steps that Powell is suggesting can be taken to help address the situation.
Wherever there's poverty, you want to have the lowest performing schools, you want to have the highest in terms of mental health disorders, and you're going to have the highest crime rates. So that's in and of itself a correlation between poverty and crime, especially increasing crime rates. It's not only here in St. Lucia, but it's worldwide. It's just, I think, incumbent upon our legislators to identify that as such and to try to find ways to actually change that trajectory.
The Police Welfare Association has welcomed the initiative.
This week is more or less about trying to meet a few people. Monroe College, we're meeting with Monroe College this afternoon, trying to meet with a few people so at least they can push the agenda of the police in terms of really giving the police the avenue to become qualified professionally in terms of dealing with certain issues. You have the issue of mental health, where we've recorded a number of fatalities whilst we deal with persons who are mentally challenged. This is one of the areas that we intend to deal with in terms of reducing the statistics from to 100% in terms of whilst dealing with persons who are mentally challenged in terms of the fatalities. We can reduce it by 100%. So Dr. Powell is here. We will look into at least meet with the Minister of Health, look into meet with the Acting Prime Minister, Mr. Montout.
Dr. Powell is expected to leave the island on Monday. For the DBS News World, I am Sheffield Gillard.
I am so exhausted, and I'm sure you too are exhausted. We are all exhausted. We are tired with politicians, with governments bringing various people to speak to police officers or speak to the public in general. This is all nice. This is like just the icing on the cake. But when you cut the cake, it's still rotten. It is rotten because what have you done from 2019? What are the programs you implemented? And this is where you know whether a government is doing well. By the programs they implement. And then you can do a case study as to what you should have done and what you should not have done. But everybody is like, we really need to do better. And I'm sure overseas, the people who are not living in St. Lucia, y'all too know by implementing programs and having monitors, people looking at what is happening with those programs, you will be able to find solutions, or if you're going right or if you're going wrong. But we're hearing nothing from the police force, what programs they have implemented to mitigate crimes in terms, not the sensitive information, but what programs you have placed within the various constituency. We need to ask ourselves. We really need to ask ourselves. Those two young men who died last Saturday, God rest their souls, couldn't their lives have been saved? You know how many people in the bigger countries, their lives have been saved because of intervention programming? What do we have it? Now, we are going to show you why Singapore has one of the world's lowest crime rate. People, this is very serious. It affects all of us. Don't be silent because, SLP is my party. They're in power, and I'm not going to say anything. Let me tell you, it's going to affect each and every one of us. Take a listen.
Singapore has one of the lowest crime rates in the world. So I'm at this hawker center, and I'm going to leave my laptop, my cell phone, and heck, even my wallet to save my seat as I go order lunch. Could I get a chicken rice? It's about 9 a.m. and we're on the ground floor of this building, which has offices and condos. Even though a lot of the shops down here are still closed, well, you can still get a pretty close look of everything they're selling. Although some stores have chosen to put in tighter security measures.
Singapore is ranked number 2 in the Economist Intelligence Unit's Safe City Index. It comes in right behind Tokyo. The population of the city-state is more than 5.5 million people. In 2016, crime in Singapore reached a 30-year low, according to Singapore police. And in that same year, there were a whopping 135 days that went by completely crime-free, from crimes including snatch theft, housebreaking, and robbery. So it's no wonder some businesses barely even shutter their doors at night.
Hello, excuse me? Maybe it's self-serve. I think this is closed. I think this means that they're closed. Yep, this one's closed. This Starbucks is located in one of Singapore's underground train stations, and as you can see by the white rope, well, it's now closed. No gate, no locks, not even a door. It's just after 8:30 p.m. at one of the busiest train stations in Singapore, and as you can see, some of the shops that sell items all day long have officially closed up shop and indicated so by putting this cover over their products. But, of course, you're being watched.
One reason crime is so low here is, well, it's nearly impossible to get away with, and punishment is strict. Tens of thousands of cameras are actively monitoring areas around Singapore, and the cameras come in handy. On January 2nd, 2018, a man snatched a woman's cell phone and ran away. 3 days later, he was arrested and will face between 1 and 7 years in prison.
Well, it's all still here. Don't try this at home.
Well, Singapore, they are not playing, right? And I remember, I'm subject to correction, but the opposition was like, oh, they want to put cameras here, they want to put CCTV cameras, but you are now here, you are now leading our country. What are you doing, right? And you listen to the video, what the guy is saying, right? People understand that the government is not playing. The penalty for crime in Singapore is very stiff. But in St. Lucia, it's like we're not even waking up from our slumber. We are still dragging our feet. Yes, they have placed the harsh penalty of gun laws if they catch you with a firearm, an illegal firearm. But that's not enough. We are too reactive and not proactive. We need to do better in this field. This cannot happen. Now, we are going to take another commercial break, and I will be back after these messages.
Hello everyone. Today we'll be learning how to show your support for Soraya Alexander through memberships and coffees. Okay? So first up guys, you need to keep this link in mind, buymeacoffee.com/Soraya Alexander. So let's go on and head on to the site. So of course you are greeted with Miss Alexander Buy Me a Coffee page. You'll scroll down to the bottom where you'll see support or membership. So of course the support option is to purchase your coffee. So we don't want to purchase 1, 3 or 5, we want to purchase a custom amount. So we'll put it right here and select 10. So of course for you guys who like to be anonymous, the name and say something nice option is optional to you. So if you would like to do that, you can, or do as you please. But in this case, I'm going to be entering a name. And I'm going to be saying something nice. I'm going to say, love your show. Keep it coming. All right. And also we know some of you have messages that you don't intend for everyone to see. So you can simply select the option, make this message private. So we're going to go ahead and press the support button. On the support page, you are greeted with the email and card number. So of course you go ahead, we're going to put johndoe@hotmail.com, and in this case we're going to be using a dummy card number, but in your case you will enter your real valid card number. So of course you put your month, your year, and the CVC of your card, and of course you will select the I'm not a robot option for verification. So this is simply how you go ahead and purchase your coffee. Simple. So now guys, we're going to go ahead and get a membership. So as you could see, we have different levels of membership, so you can choose what you like, whichever one you prefer. You go ahead and select that. So you just press the join button, and then you're greeted whether you want to take that membership per month or per year. So we're gonna go ahead and start filling in our details. We're gonna put our email, johndoe@hotmail.com, and in this case your name is required, so, and your email. So we're gonna go ahead and put a name. We're gonna put John Doe, and we are gonna see something nice. We're gonna see love your show. Now, like before, as we saw guys, you have the option to make this message private. So you could just go right here, tick, and that message is private. So of course you press the join, and then you go ahead and you enter your card, and so on and so on. And of course you verify that you are not a robot. Now on this page you also have the option, because I know some of you guys may want to take more than the allotted membership, so you can simply use the free option, predefined options for you, and add it 5, 10, 15, whatever as you wish. Okay, so guys, this is actually the full tutorial. This is how you go ahead and purchase your coffee. This is how you go ahead and purchase your membership. So I want to say thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Hope this video was as informative as it could be. This was Akeem Ernest. See ya.
Do you need to copy or print your document? Are you in need of insurance? Are you looking for office stationery? Stop. Yes, LMP Services on Clark Lane, View Fort has all the services you need. They open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Or call 454-8757 or 721-8757 for affordable rates, reliable and effective customer service with a difference.
Ernesto's Auto Parts, located on the Labrie-Ford Highway, is your place for auto parts. We have suspension parts, mounts, brakes, shocks, and so much more.
We specialize in accessories like mats, batteries, horns, lubricants, and much more. We're open from Mondays to Saturdays from 8 to 5 and Sundays on most holidays from 8 to 1.
Love we, Ernesto vai dar pour you.
And we are back. Remember, we appreciate all the coffees. We appreciate you for staying with the show, Lies and Deceit, the show that will open your mind, open your understanding, a show you can share with your friends and you can sit and learn and discuss. That is the impetus of our show. Now, allow me to go back to Dr. Ernest talking about we need to find solutions. Now, these people did their thesis and whatever in, I think Ernest Hiller did his doctorate thesis on economic and social issues. So this should have been, Ernest should have really shone during his last tenure as the Member of Parliament for Castries South, because social issues is as a result of economic inequality. So I am going to show you the causes of economic inequalities. I am going to show you the effects and solutions. So I am asking myself, and this is why you really have to support the show. You really have to go out and buy the coffees and help the show, because I am guiding you step by step. So when you have to elect a government again, you remember the Lies and Deceit show, and remember this lady, Soraya Alexander, who explained things to you, and demand better from whichever government you elect. And demanding better of a government does not mean that you are a bad person, does not mean that you hate the government, or does not mean that you hate the person. Standing up doesn't necessarily mean a war. It means you want your country to be better. So some of the causes of economic inequality, I will tell you, causes are differences in education levels. And I am going to show you a video which is very simple after I read out the various pointers, which will just make you understand. And I encourage you to share the video with your friends. You could sit after, have a watch party. Have a watch party with your friends. Your friends can come in. You know, they say COVID, but these days it's like COVID, no COVID, everybody doing what they want. Have a little watch party with your friends, some popcorn, some ice cream, some pizza, and go over the shows and debate. Debate. You know, you can debate, you know, some people are very emotional, but you debate. But at the end of the day, you must come to a common good. So, let me just do this here. It's not my people. My screen, the things just came off from it. Just hold on, my people, I'll get it back. Just give me a minute. I will. Mr. Producer, would you mind just playing the coffee video while I get this snapshot here? It sort of came off my computer. My computer is so sensitive.
Hello everyone. Today we'll be learning how to show your support for Soraya Alexander through memberships and coffees. Okay, so first up guys, you need to keep this link in mind, buymeacoffee.com/Soraya Alexander. So let's go on and head on to the site. So of course you are greeted with Miss Alexander Buy Me a Coffee page. You'll scroll down to the bottom where you'll see support or membership. So of course the support option is to purchase your coffee. So we don't want to purchase 1, 3, or 5. We want to purchase a custom amount. So we'll put it right here and select 10. So of course for you guys who like to be anonymous, the name and say something nice option is optional to you. So if you would like to do that, you can, or do as you please. But in this case, I'm going to be entering a name. And I'm going to be saying something nice. I'm going to say, love your show. Keep it coming. All right. And also we know some of you have messages that you don't intend for everyone to see. So you can simply select the option, make this message private. So we're going to go ahead and press the support button. On the support page, you are greeted with the email and card number. So of course you go ahead, we're going to put johndoe@hotmail.com, and in this case we're going to be using a dummy card number, but in your case you will enter your real valid card number. So of course you put your month, your year, and the CVC of your card, and of course you will select the I'm not a robot option for verification. So this is simply how you go ahead and purchase your coffee. Simple. So now guys, we're going to go ahead and get a membership. So as you could see, we have different levels of membership. So you can choose what you like, whichever one you prefer. You go ahead and select that. So you just press the join button, and then you're greeted whether you want to take that membership per month or per year. So we're going to go ahead and start filling in our details. We're going to put our email, johndoe@hotmail.com. And in this case, your name is required. So, and your email. So we're going to go ahead and put a name. We're going to put John Doe. And we are going to see something nice. We're going to see love your show. Now, like before, as we saw guys, you have the option to make this message private. So you could just go right here, tick, and that message is private. So of course you press the join, and then you go ahead and you enter your card and so on and so on. And of course, you verify that you are not a robot. Now on this page, you also have the option, because I know some of you guys may want to take more than the allotted membership. So you can simply use the free option, predefined options for you, and add it 5, 10, 15, whatever, as you wish. Okay, so guys, this is actually the full tutorial. This is how you go ahead and purchase your coffee. This is how you go ahead and purchase your membership. So I want to say thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Hope this video was as informative as it could be. This was Akeem Ernest. See ya.
And I am back. I have to say thank you to my wonderful producer. My producer of my show, Lies and Deceit, is my 17-year-old brilliant young son, Akeem Ernest. So this is my support for my show. Quick on the money, quick on his feet, you know. Send him some love, send the coffees in. We played the coffee videos. Again, thanks for all the coffees. Send the coffees in, love us. Do not be a part of hate, but be a part of progress, and that's what we are. So let's get back. So some of the causes are differences in education levels, geographic conditions, heritages, tax advantages, family income, differences in public infrastructure, political motives, as we all know, as we all have seen in our country, right? Political motives, globalization, difference in technological advancement, differences in technological advancement. We in St. Lucia, we at the bottom of the list in terms of technology. The world has left us. Corruption. Oh my God, we all know about corruption. Causes. So I hope all the politicians on both sides, Ernest Hille, the others on the other side, United Workers' Party, I hope all of y'all are listening to what I am reading here. Unemployment causes homelessness, drug abuse, economic inequality. The effects lead to poverty, lack of education, homelessness, lack of health insurance, lack of health insurance, hopelessness, frustration, mental illness. Excuse me, we saw where we had a young 17-year-old committing suicide. So people, when I'm here, I am teaching you so you can learn. Make the difference, not for so-so. Make the difference for your children, for your country. Frustration, mental illness, physical health issues, discrimination of minorities, conflicts and wars, fundamentalism and terrorism. Solutions: global support, trade, fair labor conditions, fair labor conditions. Do we have that in St. Lucia? Better access to education, especially better access to education. Lord have mercy. Create jobs, mitigate corruption, which we need this in our country. Global. It's not something just pop up. I don't want it. Let me just give it a chance to get. You see when you're dealing with technology, something just pop up on my computer. Okay, it's gone. Global wealth tax, donations, adjust your consumption behavior, raise awareness on this topic. My people, we need to do that. The solutions are there. You mean to tell me all the people with their PhDs, their masters, their BSc, their BBA, the whatever. I believe our problem in St. Lucia, and it may be throughout the world to a lesser extent, is that people refuse to sit. People refuse to sit and say, let us really do this for the nation, for the people of St. Lucia. Everybody comfortable. Oh, I have a job, I'm making $15,000 a month with all the perks and everything, or I can dress in my tie, my suit, or my nice dress, and I am just, everywhere, just feeling like I am the big boss, and oh my God, I am better than everybody else, So the idea of sitting and really dialoguing. Because let me warn you, change is not easy. Change is leaving yourself behind as a public official and working your nails to the ground to ensure change happens. I am seeing too many conferences, and this is why I love my girl Mia Motley. She said, we're tired of this nonsense, going to conferences talking, going here talking, going there talking, all kind of rubbish. She said she is tired of this. We need to sit at the table and talk to each other. Not to talk to each other on the mic. We want this, we want that. She need to sit with each other, talk to each other, discuss with each other. This is the only way we are going to see solution. In Singapore, 5 million people live there, and in our little rock place of St. Lucia, we have how many people? Maybe 180,000 people, and we still cannot come together to make this country better. Now I am going to play for you, and this is a very, 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 very critical video, and this video really shows you that poverty does not cause crime. It's exclusion. You have to include people at all levels, at all walks of life, so that a difference can be made. I am giving you food tonight. Ensure you support the movement. Let us stamp out the hate towards my show and go get the coffees, because what I am giving you is food, is nourishment. You have passed the milk stage for 10 months, I have taught you. Right now, we're on the 11th month. It's time you start eating the hard food. Take a listen.
Meet Dewi and Putri, two girls from Indonesia. Dewi's family is rich and belongs to the top 10% of households in terms of income. Putri's family is not as fortunate. They are in the bottom 10% of households, part of the 28 million people who live below the poverty line. Inequality divided these girls even before they were born. Putri's mother did not visit a formal health facility while she was pregnant and did not get the right nutrition. Because of this, Putri was born underweight. Dewi's mother, on the other hand, was able to visit her doctor regularly and get the right nutrition so that Dewi was born with a healthy weight. During her first 2 years, Putri did not receive her full vaccinations and didn't get the right nutrition either. So rather than catching up to Dewi, who continued to grow tall and healthy, Putri fell even further behind. Dewi grew up in a house with clean running water and a toilet. Putri's family couldn't afford a toilet. Because she had to defecate in the open, she got diarrhea frequently. This made her growth even more stunted, while Dewi, who almost never had diarrhea, grew tall. Inequality deepened when the girls were old enough to start school. Dewi got a head start by attending early childhood education classes, which taught her how to learn. Putri, meanwhile, stayed at home. Dewi made it all the way to her high school graduation and then continued on to university. Putri started school too and finished grade 6. But because the extra cost for books, uniforms, and travel were too high, her family could not afford to keep her in school. Instead, they needed her to earn extra income for the household. With her education, Dewi found a job with good pay and benefits. Putri wasn't as fortunate. She had to settle for a job in the informal sector with less pay, less security, and fewer benefits. Without a good job, Putri won't be able to afford healthcare or make sure that her children stay in school. And so, poverty and inequality get passed on from generation to generation. Now, what if we told you that Putri's story doesn't only apply to the bottom 10%? Another 68 million Indonesians in the bottom 40% of households are not much better off. It doesn't take much for them to slip into poverty, a bad harvest, a lost job, an unexpected illness. But it doesn't have to be this way. Let's step back for a minute. What if Putri's mother got the prenatal care and nutrition that she needed? What if Putri had received all her vaccinations? What if her home had clean water and a toilet? What if Putri started school in kindergarten and could stay in school until she graduated from high school? What if she had the chance to build her skills and find a job with a decent wage? This would help not only Putri, but also her family and the generations that come after her. And if other girls like Putri did the same, this could change their communities. And, add it all together, this could change Indonesia. But it all starts with giving Putri and Dewi and other kids like them an equal chance.
And with this last video, I bid you farewell. I am out. Have a good evening, and remember, keep your bell on. Bye.
We expose lies and deceit. Expect us